Brown skin, you know I love your brown skin. I can't tell where yours begins. I can't tell where mine is. Brown skin, up against my brown skin. Need some every now and then. No. Where are your people from? Maybe Mississippi or Ghana. Apparently your skin has been kissed by the sun. You make me wanna Hershey's kiss your licorice. Every time I see your lips, it makes me
God
think
is
of
good.
honey-coated chocolate. Your kisses are worth more than gold to me. I'll be your almond joy, you'll be my sugar daddy.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Nicholas Mason coming to you with the evening legislation solely for your mental edification. And welcome to another episode of Mason's Corner as we tap in, strap in, and dive deep into some of the most exo and esoteric topics, and even those that range in the potpourri category of very random topics. But we are here to inform you. This platform is here to inform you, to give you a space to speak your point, to open your voice, as well as to give young entrepreneurs in my local community the opportunity to have their product and their industry be presented on the grandest stage. Myself, my name is Nicholas Mason. I always bring you the legislation solely for your mental edification. And I dropped a dime on you where we can go dive deep into some surface topics, keep it on the surface like that, or we can plunge a little bit deeper into what the spirit and the subconscious and the conscious mean and how we can intertwine and connect. But that's another topic for another day. Today we are celebrating something so excellent, something so powerful, and something that we probably didn't recognize until recent times. Today we celebrate June 19th today. Today is Juneteenth of 2020, and 2020 has definitely taken us on a ride thus far. But trust and believe that the best is yet to come. And I'm just going to take it in. I'm going to tell you, man, I'm proud to be a black man. I'm proud to be a black man in a time such as this. I'm proud to be a part of a culture in a time and a place such as this, because the time such as this doesn't call for us to fold and doesn't call for us to crumble or to stay down at the fact of oppression and suppression, but it's the time where we can elevate our minds, we can elevate our spirit, and we can elevate the physicality of our own nature so that we can achieve our own liberation, so that we can achieve our own revelation. But at first, we must start here, inception. And once you, as a man thinketh, so is he. My God, my God. But today, as we celebrate Juneteenth, if you don't know what Juneteenth is, this talks about the last Confederate state in Texas, which was Texas, during the Civil War. That was the last state to liberate a captive of war. If you know a little bit about slavery, of course, we all learn about in school, and we've seen all the slave movies. We've seen Roots, 12 Years a Slave, The Butler, The Help, and so on and so forth. Even though we have some great actors, Forrest Whitaker, Octavia Spencer, and so many other more great characters, Viola Davis, where is the power at? Where is that that gump to let you know that we are more than just people of servitude? And if we go back, historically speaking, we as a people were not just of servitude to another man, but we are a service to our spirit. See, to understand to be black, black isn't something that correlates just to how your hair looks, how you style yourself, how you wear your clothes, or even how you talk, the linguistics and dialogues that you choose to exchange in the midst of a conversation. But I don't know why I came out like that, but it came out like that. But dialogue and being black, and your fashion and being black, and your hair and being black, that is only surface level. To be black has to do with your nature. See, scientifically speaking, in the beginning of the creation of Earth, there were only three constructive colors that we could actually attune to on a microscopic level. And even to this very day, blue, green, and black. The blue represents the life, the water that is around us. The green represents the terra, the foundation in which we will sustain and inhabit. And then the black represents those who keep the balance of the blue and the green. See, the black isn't just about your skin color. See, I'm chocolate. I'm not black. I'm chocolate if you want to talk about colors. Black has something to do about your innate nature, your innate netaru, your spirit, your voodoo wanting to connect to the balance and the harmony of things. See, it's hard to do that today in today's society simply for the simple fact that distractions coming at you before you even come into conception. From the moment your mom finds out that she's pregnant, that downhill spiral starts. Having to go to the doctors and being medicated, drugging the child up. Then, once the child is born, or even before the child is born, once the water breaks, they want to give you an epidural. They want to see if they can give you a cesarean section if you can't give birth to the child. Or even if you don't even want to have a child, they offer you the option of abortion, sterilization, vasectomies for men. And all the while, you're trying to get away from the harmony of things. And all the while they're telling you to put weave in your hair that's not even your natural hair, to appreciate the real roots and essence that come from your scalp. They're telling you to put something over it to cover it. Then for those who feel like to have brown skin or skin darker than the brown paper bag is to be considered dirty, the devil is a lie. My black is beautiful. You will go to the extent of bleaching your skin. See, black, you can't run away from being black. Black is like the truth. See, truth is something you can't see. It's something you can't necessarily touch all the time, but it's something you feel. See, being black is something you feel. Being black requires you to have spirit, not by might, not by power, but by the spirit that you keep. See, the one thing from bondage, before bondage, into bondage, and after bondage that is never broken, they say that the grass may fade and the flowers may wither, or the grass may wither and the flowers may fade, but the word of God, the wisdom, the effervescence, the omnipresence of God shall stand forever. And when it comes to the black culture, that holds very true. Some of us may stray away from the path. Some of us may have not even come in close encounters to knowing what the path really is. But to all those who are watching and tuning in, black starts from within. It is a self-acceptance that you yourself play a part in the reinvention, in the momentum, in the metamorphosis in which Terra Earth can present. And when you understand these things, you will start to act in concordance to what you were called to do. See, the Bible even tells us, as a child, I acted as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away my childish things and carried out the work that God had set forth for me. In the black community today, we deal with social injustice, police brutality. We deal with, sometimes for those in working situations, inequality. We deal with going to the grocery store and being stereotypically followed around the store or followed around the convenience store thinking you might steal something simply because you're a tall black man. Or to that young sister who is very outspoken and very intelligent and very artistically, A-R-T, in tune with herself. She likes to show off her artistic appeal through her fashion and her hair. See, it is something you can't explain through your fashion. It is something you cannot explain through your clothes. It is not something you can explain through the build of your body and your mass, but it is something you can explain from the inside. Each time we've had a black person slain on the news, each time we've had another martyr be called for an unjust death or murder, each time we've seen a brother or sister be incarcerated for something that was not even true to their nature or character. Each time we've seen someone go up to the ballot and stand to be a martyr for the cause for the community and be shot down and assassinated, we it's more than just the color of my skin. It's more than just the struggle. It's more than just the success, but it is the pushing and the pulling, the stretching to define and refine what was always and always there. When you find balance and harmony within yourself, when you find balance and harmony on these two accords, when the heart and mind are in accord, the omnipotence of God shall be in your midst. A lot of times you may refer that you and another person talking on the same note and you guys are agreeing, that's two great minds, that's a great thing. But when your heart and your mind, your emotions and your logic are in concordance, the tree of knowledge and then the tree of good and evil are in concordance, there the omnipresence of God shall be in the midst. So as a black man, I'm in search of being on one accord. I go within. Yes, I see people protesting outside. Yes, I see people rioting and looting. Yes, I see people wanting their voices to be heard. But my great-grandmother, Mattie Mae Sellers, told me something that I won't forget to this very day. The loudest one in the room is really the weakest one in the room. Just because you're yelling and shouting doesn't mean I'm really understanding what you're saying. I may listen, but to understand is a whole nother level. My brothers and sisters, take time to understand that even though everything around us may call you to step into action, George Floyd being killed, publicly executed in front of us on television, Tamir Rice publicly executed on television, Eric Garner, Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Philando Castile, Alton Brown, the list goes on and on and on. Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks, shall I go on? You must go within as opposed to reaching from the outside. Create in me a clean heart that I may worship. See, the worship comes from self-understanding. In Psalms 23, it says that thou shalt prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and he shall anoint my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. See, the thing is, the table's already been set for those who subscribe to the black culture. Your table's already been set before you in the presence of your enemies. You are the number one consumer in the United States, the biggest spending dollar. You create the biggest fashion trends. You create the biggest fashion hairstyles, cosmetology, fashion, music, merchandise, and food. Your table has been set, my brothers and sisters. And the oil is already flowing from your head. But you must free Egypt from your mind. Egypt is a Greek word that correlates to bondage. Freeing your mind. We celebrate a designated day such as June 19th. Today is a day for black people. We have a month in the United States designated to Black History Month. But to the true understanding of what it is to be black is not something to do with the color of your skin, but it is to do with the content and the character of your nature. To want to bring balance. You must bring balance from not looking to outside entities to fill that void in the inside. But the only way to fill something from the inside is to go on the inside and to see what's broken. We come from a turmoil of lies, treason, indoctrination, and so much more. But the best is yet to come. But the best can only come when you take that first step. See, we must die in order to live. Now, the dying part is not of a physical death, but it is of a psychological death of bondage. See, on a theological aspect, when I draw from Jacob's ladder, Jacob wrestled with the angel all night long, and he would not let go until he blessed his soul. But the blessing came from the understanding of the true nature of Jacob was Israel. He was of a royal decree. See, we fight for something that we think will help define us. We fight for something which we think will give us purpose and meaning. But the real purpose and the real meaning of life and the real purpose and understanding of who we are, the real bread and the real wine of understanding the balance of what it is to be black, and am I black enough? In my opinion, it comes from the fact of knowing who we are from the inside out. Knowing what triggers us. Knowing what encourages us. Knowing your who, what, when, where, how, and why. If you can't answer those questions, stated in books, study to show thyself approved. And don't be quick to jump out into the deep end, because you don't know how deep the water is until you're out there swimming. And yes, they say take a risk because the risk is worth the reward. But in a time such as this, it's better to plan for success than it is to not be prepared at anything or for anything at all. My brothers and sisters, I leave you with that. Again, happy June 19th. Peace, love, blessings, and power to you. Like, comment, share, or subscribe the video. The best is yet to come. We got a podcast coming on Tuesday. It's going to be podcast number 2. We're going to be talking about what makes me black. What is black? Am I black? And we got a series of guests coming on here from all different social groups who are going to tell you, in their opinion, what makes them black. Or do they even classify themselves as black? But again, it's your boy Nicholas Mason bringing you the legislation solely for your mental edification. And I'm signing out. Be blessed.